27. What we're going to do today is just a nice big stretch. So you may be feeling quite tight through the upper body, tight through the wrist, tight through the hip flexors, and anything else that you may be doing from working from home. So we tend to sit down more at home, maybe not get up and about as much. We may also find that we don't have the best posture as we will be working from a table or even just sitting on the couch doing the work. So I'm just going to stretch through a couple of the joints that may sometimes get missed or may be a little bit sore throughout these times. So what we're going to do is just start in a nice seated position. If it's not comfortable to cross your legs, you're more than welcome to just pop them down in front in a bed position. What we're going to do is sit up nice and tall, one hand beside, we lift up and then over. So inhale, lift up, and then exhale, reach over. And from this, we're just trying to open up the side of the body. One more. And then other side. So lift up and then over. Really try and feel the lengthening through the side of the body. And then coming back over. I'm going to take this one step further. One leg's going to go behind and one leg in front. So it's almost like a 90-90. We're going to plant one hand on the ground and lift up and over one side. And then inhale up and lift up and over the other side. So inhale, move. Exhale, over. Inhale, move. Exhale, other side. So just nice and gently following the breaths, keeping both the bottom bones on the ground. Let's go for two more each side. And one more each side. Awesome. Alrighty, swapping the legs over, other direction. So, inhaling up and over, then inhaling up and exhaling the other side. So feel the difference between the sides. Really want to stretch up and then exhale over. Feeling a nice release through the side of the body. Got one more each side. Awesome. Coming on round to a tabletop position. So what we're going to do is hands are directly under shoulders, knees are directly under hips, and we have a nice neutral spine. We're just going to start off with some happy cat, angry cat. So starting with the tailbone, we lift the tailbone up, we drop the belly button and open up the chest bones. And then on the exhale, we tuck the tailbone under, roll the back up to the back up. So inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly button, lift the chest. Then exhale, roll everything over. Doing 3 more of these in your own time. Starting from your tailbone and working the way up. Last one. And return to center. Alright, I'm going to go into a wagging dog now, or a wagging tail. So your toe turns out. We come on over on the exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, foot and upper body turns. And then back to center. So going side to side. One leg rotates out. and you rotate the shoulder round to it. So you should feel a shortening on one side and a lengthening through the other side. Let's go for 3 more each side. Two more each side. And 1 more each side. And returning to center. Alright, moving our focus onto our wrists. So what we're going to do is turn our palms up and then slowly glide side to side. Now if this is too much, keeping your hands underneath your shoulders, you can bring your palms a little bit closer to the knees, take a little bit more load through the legs, and a little less pressure through the wrists. If you want to take it a little bit further, as I said, just step the arms or the wrists out underneath the shoulders, nice and gently side to side. You can start making movements a little bit bigger, rolling on up to the fingertips, and then rolling back down. Take the 3 more here. And 1 more each side. Alrighty, returning the hands into a normal position. This time we're going to rotate the hands so that the fingertips point towards the thighs. Now again, if this is too much, walk your wrists back towards your knees. Otherwise, try to keep them underneath the shoulder blades. This time we're going to rock backwards and forwards ever so gently, like a nice stretch down those forearms and into those wrist joints. And if you want to make it that little bit bigger, coming all the way to the fingers and stretching through the fingers, then through the wrists. So our wrists are often quite a stiff muscle joint if we don't tend to stretch them. That's because we spend a lot of our day in a nice flexed position, which is this position here, as we type on keyboards, type on our phones, drive the car, anything like that. Let's go for 3 more here. Awesome, and return the hands back to normal. What we're going to do now is focus on the ankle joints and also focus on all the arches of the feet and focus on the hands. So we're going to tuck the toes under and make sure all the toes are tucked. We're going to sit on back and feel a nice stretch through the toes and through the arches of our feet. While we do that, our hands are going to go in a prayer. We're going to rotate the wrists around, making sure that those fingers are touching at all times. So nice big rotations. If this is too much on your arches, you can always come up that little bit further, taking a little less pressure off them. Otherwise, back down, feeling a nice stretch out through the toes. Alright, let's go the hands in the opposite direction, rotating them around. Just loosening out through those wrist joints. Awesome. Nice and gently come on up, untuck the toes. Just give your feet a little bit of a pat out. Just releasing through the toes and the legs. When I come back down into a tabletop position, we're going to take the right arm, pop it under the left armpit as we rotate through, as we start to move our attention up through our spine and through our shoulder blades. So the right arm reaches as far as it can while we're still trying to get that left armpit towards the ground, feeling a nice rotation. The top of the hand pushes against the ground to help open up that shoulder blade. Just take a couple of deep breaths here. And bring that back to the center. pushing it against the ground, opening up through the shoulder blades. And returning that hand back to centre. Keeping those hips stacked, we're going to walk the hands out into a puppy dog position. So the hips stay over the knees and the armpits head towards the ground. If you want that little bit extra, looking on up to your fingertips. Trying to drop both those armpits to the ground, just lengthening on out. Taking the left arm in to underneath the shoulder, we're going to take focus onto the right side of the body. So we're going to rotate slightly, trying to get that right armpit towards the ground, resting your head on that right bicep. If you need, resting that elbow onto the ground, feeling a nice stretch out down the right side of the body. Every breath, just trying to relax into that stretch a little bit more. Other side. So left arm goes out, right arm goes in. We bring our weight onto our left arm, resting our head on that left bicep. Try and get that left armpit towards the ground. Using the breath to really relax into the stretch. And coming back up. Alrighty, we're going to roll on up and take the focus down to the hips. One leg goes forward, one leg stays down, and we find that 90-degree angle. What we're going to do is tuck the hips under and then push forward, feeling a nice stretch up the top of the hip flexor. So if you put your hand on your belly and a hand on your back and tilt under and forward, you should be able to get that nice stretch. What we don't want to do is untuck the pelvis and come all the way down. That's going to come later, but for now, tuck under and then push forward, really stretching through that top of the hip flexors. Keeping that upper body nice and tall, and if you want that little bit more, that same arm as that back leg lifts up and slightly over. Alright, relaxing that hip, straightening that front leg, keeping that toe on the ground. We're going to lean on forward and you should feel a stretch both down the hamstring but also through the front of your foot. Try to keep the hips nice and square. Keep it back nice and flat. Alright, so I'm going to walk the hands forward. This is where we relax the hip flexor this time and lengthen it. So bringing it down towards the floor. Want that little bit extra? Lifting up that upper body, hands on that front knee, and really aiming for that hip down towards the ground. Alrighty, on your next one, you're going to walk your foot to the opposite side of the mat, dropping the shin down and finding that nice swan pose. Now to make this stretch a little bit more in depth, you can increase the angle of that front leg and come up and over. If you're not quite at this stretch yet, you can bend that back leg up, find a 90-degree position and lean on over. So it's completely up to you where you are in this stretch. When you're ready, slowly bring that upper body down over, whether you're onto your elbows or stretching all the way through. Really releasing into the stretch, feeling a nice stretch out through those glute muscles and through the hips. Alrighty, we're going to walk up onto our hands and we're just going to stay here a little bit longer, pushing those hips down. If you want that a little bit further, you're going to pick up the back leg and you can hold it with the opposite arm. If you want a little bit more of the challenge, you can hook that back leg into your elbow. Find your balance here. And if you want to take that challenge one step further, you can go into a mermaid. So lifting the opposite hand up. Let me see if I can get my balance. Up and over. Finding, a bind between the hands. Couple more breaths here. And nice and gently releasing the back leg down. And then swapping legs. So we're going all the way back to the start with the opposite side. So tucking under the hips, pushing the hips forward. Remember, one hand on the belly, one hand on the back. Feel the tuck and then push forward. Feel that nice opening up through the front hip flexor. Keeping the upper body nice and tall. Now this may be enough for you, otherwise lift the arm up and slightly over. You should feel a little bit more of a stretch down the top of the hip flexors. Alrighty, straightening out that front foot. Going to keep that front toe on the ground, straightening out that front leg and bending on over, keeping a nice straight back. So you want to always lift that pelvis up so you can feel that nice hamstring stretch down the top of the leg and then a nice stretch down the foot near the top of the ankle there. Give a nice big stretch out. Alrighty, nice and gently bending that front leg and allowing that hip to come on down towards the floor, finding a nice long line. If you want that a little bit extra, bringing your hands onto that front knee, lifting on up, keeping that chest nice and proud. Alrighty, bringing those hands down to the ground, walking the foot to the opposite side of the mat and coming on down for a glute stretch in swan pose. So finding that nice long line. Again, if this is too much, tuck that back leg in and lean on over. But otherwise for everyone else, up and over. And once you're comfortable, leaning on forward, either onto your elbows or straighten those arms. Alrighty, on your next exhale, coming on up, sitting up nice and tall. Now this may be enough for you today. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, grabbing a hold of that back foot. Feeling a nice release here through the legs. If you want that a little bit further, take that foot towards the elbow and lengthen on out. And if you can find your balance, then trying to find the mermaid pose, finding that bind through the hands and lifting on up. Ever so gently, releasing that back leg, releasing the hands, and coming on up into a downward dog. Just allowing everything to relax. Pedaling out the feet, bringing your armpits down towards your toes. Lifting up the pelvis towards the ceiling, finding a nice straight back. Pushing through the fingertips. And just finding a nice relax in this pose. Alrighty, ever so gently coming forward, finding your knees and finding a nice seated position. And finish off just releasing through the upper body, releasing through the neck. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to find a bind through our shoulders. So one arm comes up and over as we stretch through the tricep. If you can, try and meet your hands towards one another. If you can't, you're more than welcome to grab a towel to help. And just find a nice stretch, nice opening through the tricep, through the shoulders. Trying to keep that body up nice and tall. Nice and gently relax, other side. So again, if you can't find the bind between the hands, you may want to grab a towel. Otherwise, just relaxing into this stretch. And nice and gently release. Hands go down to the ground. One hand goes on top of the head as we bring the head closer towards the shoulder. Feel a nice lengthening out through the top of the neck and through the top of the shoulder. Once we've found that nice stretch, you can walk that hand out that little bit further, dropping the palm towards the ground, trying to lower that shoulder. Just take a couple of nice, deep, slow breaths here. On your next exhale, dropping that chin towards the chest and feeling the stretch go throughout the back, neck muscles. Then nice and gently walk the finger up, walk the shoulder up and lift the head, other side. So dropping the neck straight down to the side. Once you feel that nice stretch to the top of the neck and top of the shoulder, we'll walk the fingertips out and then try and drop that palm to the floor, dropping that shoulder down. Feeling a nice stretch to the top of the shoulder and neck. On your next exhale, nice and gently drop that chin towards the chest and feel the stretch go towards the back neck muscles. Then ever so gently walking the finger up, walking the shoulder up, walking the head up. With both palms on the ground, we're going to focus on some neck movements. So just nice and gently turning your neck side to side, trying to find some rotation. Returning your head back to the middle, dropping your chin to your chest and finding a half moon. So rotating to the side of one shoulder, then back in front, then rotating to the other shoulder. So keeping your head in front of those two shoulders the whole time. Take a notice of what muscles are tight and then trying to release them on the exhales. And return the head back to the middle. Alrighty, legs go to 90-90 as we give ourselves a big hug. So what we're going to do is grab behind the knees, keep the shoulders down and back, open up through the shoulder blades. Try and almost pull your upper body closer as you're also pulling away. Feeling nice opening through the top of the shoulders and through the back muscles. And then coming on up for a big shoulder roll, sitting on up nice and tall as you can, bringing those shoulders down and back, opening up through the chest. And then whilst here, doing 3 big shoulder rolls. last one, keeping the shoulders down and back, give you a nice upright posture and returning to starting position. You all did absolutely awesome today. Hopefully feel a little bit more stretched out. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for another workout. See you later.